Hi there. Today I'm going to tie a pike fly, a tube fly. This is going to be called the EEL. It's been quite a productive pattern for me lately, and it's almost entirely black and without too much flash. Something that could definitely pay up sometimes. First of all, I wanna add a rattle to this fly, and when you're fishing with tube flies, there are several ways you can add the rattles. The rattle that I'm using is these Bauer power rattles. They are made. They're done in plastic and then with the metal ball in the end, so they really make a lot of noise. And there are two ways you can apply these. You can apply them directly to your tube fly, but you can also apply them to the hook set that you're going to use for the tube flies. I'm going to show you a fairly easy method that can be used on all flies, also on hooked flies. What you do is you take your rattle here, and as you can see, it has this, so it's easy to tie down. But this is also something we can use for another purpose. And then I simply take my my Sabagap here with a brush here, and apply a bit of Sabagap glue, like that. And then I take one of these Pro silicone hook guides, and I simply just add, and these has to be XL. Then I simply just add one of these over the rattle. So now I have something that is very, very solid, because it stays on there. As you can see, it vibrates a lot, giving a lot more movement. And then you simply can simply tie this down here, like so. I'm gonna do that on a bit further down, like so. And since this hook guide is very strong, the silicone this is made from is very durable. I've not had any problems with pike chewing through this. So as you can see, there, now you have it, and it really makes an enormous amount of noise. So that's an easy way. You can also do that on hooked flies and stuff like that. Otherwise, you can simply attach this if you have a hook set or something like that. But this is a very easy way to get your rattles in there and not have to bother with them constantly tilting on one side or the other or something like that. This simply stays there, and it works a lot. And I've had a lot of fish on these rattles lately. So I've not been fishing too much with them before, but I gave them a try here the last couple of trips, and for some reason on the last trip, for instance, all the pikes I got was on these rattles. So I think that they can from time to time actually make a difference. Well, now we have the rattle in there. So what I want to do now is I want to have a bundle of bucktail, something like this, in black also, and I'm gonna tie this so it's facing forward, because I want this to give a bit of bulk and to make sure that the rest of my materials are not gonna get tangled with the hook sets and stuff like that. So tying this down, applying some thread like this. Every time I'm saying apply some thread, I think of my time I played World of Warcraft once, and I was a tank, so, and it always was about generating thread. But not in the same sense here. If some of you have ever been tanking, you will know what I mean. So, well, gotta cut a bit of that off. That's not really an important factor, but there you have it. Kind of like a corona effect of the bucktail here. So I'm gonna take this and then fold it backwards, like so. And then I'm gonna tie in front of it, applying some more tying thread. Moving a bit further up the tube here, like that. Looks great. I'm gonna take some small amount of big fly fiber. Yeah, big fly fiber is well, perfect for most things, and really great for this fly in particular as well. I really find this black flies have been producing quite well this year. It's not a color that I've been using terrible much before, but I find that especially in waters where the pack has seen a lot of different stuff, and over time packs will become wary of lures and flies and stuff like that. So the black color is a very nice trump, you could say, that really can make or break your day. So a bit too much there. Again, I'm going to distribute this big fly fiber as evenly as I can all the way around the tube here, like so. Give that a squeeze here. Nice looking, as always. Gotta cut off all the other crap here that I don't want. Like so. Then I'm gonna take some flesh, and this is almost the only flesh that's gonna be here. This is lateral scale in mirror opal, and this color is insane. It reflects a truly unbelievable amount of light. So this is simply just to give a bit of contrast. I'm not going to use much of this. I'm only going to use 5 strands. If you use 6, that's probably, or 4, that's probably okay as well. But I'm not sure. I think it probably has. I know, you know, it's a pike fly, but not too much. That's the essential key here. Because this really is it's gonna make some major noise out in the water. So just gonna distribute those as evenly as I probably can, like that. Tie this down, but don't use too much of this stuff, because this stuff is just powerful, really intense and powerful, as you can see in the video as well. So just to give a bit more of of shine to this fly. Black flies are also good in murky water, especially if they're fished a bit high, because most of the times pike will probably, if you're fishing on on open water, the pikes will probably be a bit further down in the water column than your fly, and that will give them easier, make them they will see black flies easier, because black will be a very big contrast to the lighter sky. So black is very good for murky water as well, especially if it's fished higher than where the fish is in the water column. Like that. Powerful stuff. Okay, then I'm gonna add some hackles, some saddle feathers, and well, black saddle feathers is a good addition to any fly. It looks very good mixed with both with pink and is very good with orange, electric yellow. Well, black is just one of those colors that well, you know, it's well, black is the new black, you could say. So black is just one of those colors that looks good on almost anything. So I just took 6 or 7 of these feathers here, cut off the bottoms, and then again I distributed, so they are gonna be as close as possible to all the way around. You could, of course, if you really want this to be perfectly outlined and perfectly placed, you could place them individually. But well, I tie flies to fish and to use, so I just do this pretty much so it looks fairly good, like that. And you don't want these feathers to go anywhere, so apply a bit of super glue here. You can, of course, if you want, apply super glue all on every stage of your tying, but I normally don't don't have any problems with my flies falling apart. If you just use a strong thread, use a strong tying thread and apply some pressure while tying, then you're safe. But these hackles are expensive, and probably one of the points of the fly that easily breaks. So you want to be sure that they are fastened strongly, that they are strong and secure there. Okay, great looking so far. Everything is as it should be. The eel is moving along, and now we are, well, basically not completely finished, but we're at some of the last things on this fly. So in order to give it a bit more movement, I'm gonna take some of these ostrich hurls, and I have a truly exceptional stock of ostrich in the shop. You should definitely check that out if pike tying is your game, because I've spent a lot of time finding a good supplier at an affordable price. So these are, as you can see, very long, and I would not. I only sell stuff that is usable for pike flies in my shop. I simply do not have anything that is not up to standard, which is very important with your type pike flies. So as you can see, a bit more power and energy. And if you really wanted this to be give a bit more contrast, you could use something like this black and red barred or something like that. I'm just going to use the black, the completely black one for this one, but you could do the other thing as well, like so. And then I'm gonna cut off all these stumps here. Like you can see, I need to put a bit more thread here, like that. So, and now I'm gonna do a hackle, but I'm gonna do a hackle with black flesh and microlon. Some very lively materials that is gonna blend nicely together, and is gonna make the finish of this fly looks amazing. So I'm gonna take that, making a dubbing loop here. This is a very nice technique that really can add a lot of life to flies. I'm gonna hang my dubbing loop off to the side while I prepare the rest of the materials I need here. So I'm gonna take some black microlon, like that. We're going to take some black Fleshaboo. This is the narrow Fleshaboo. It could be Predator Fleshaboo, but the narrow Fleshaboo here is optimal for flesh hackles, because it's thinner than the Magnum Fleshaboo. Like this. So now I have a bundle of microlon and a bundle of flesh, and I'm just gonna pull it out so it's not even in length, like so. Make sure it's straight on the other end, and then I'm gonna mix it up as much as I can here. And that's a bit delicate procedure. Something like this is good. I'm gonna take some of this out here and put it back in my bundle, like so. And there you can, as you can see now, I have mixed the flesh and the Fleshaboo, and the microlon. Okay, so far so good. I'm gonna place this inside my dubbing loop, like this. As you can see, I have my dubbing loop here. I use one finger to hold it open and the other finger to close it, like that. And then I'm gonna put it so it's not gonna be completely the same length. And I'm gonna spread it out so it's gonna be distributed over, let's say, and that's a bit difficult for you to see, over, let's say, something like 6 or 7 centimeters of the dubbing loop here, like that. And then I need my my dubbing loop tool. Oh, where art thou when I need this? When I need thou? Oh, crap! this then? Oh, there it is. So I have the turbo reel from CF Design that is just insane, insanely good working. But any dubbing reel will do. So gonna hold everything in place, and then I'm gonna spin my reel here, and then I'm gonna set everything in motion, as you can see here, like that. And while I turn this, I take something to actually make sure that these are not completely entangled here, intertwined into one another, but that they are still inside the dubbing loop here. And then you get this amazing hackle composed of half part flesh and half part microlon. Really cool ending for a fly like this. Looks great, moves very good in the water, and really makes a nice ending to flies like this. You could also just do this do a hackle like this in two different colors of flesh. That works phenomenal as well for flash flies and stuff like that. What I find is the very fleshy flies works great on let's say pikes that hasn't been fished on for a longer period. But as soon as pikes, if you have a lake or something like that that's been fairly hard fished for an extensive period of time, fish that maybe have been caught a few times and stuff like that, the more wary the pike gets of all the bright and shining colors and all the flash. So the more a water has been fished, or the pikes in the water have been caught, the more you need to imitate, let's say the true stuff that pikes actually eat. So this is good because eels is definitely on the pike's menu, and as I said, this color really is one of the colors that a pike can easily spot in the water. So I'm gonna start to turn this. Need to pull this out a bit more. I can see up here. Like that. And this is simply going to be the front part of my fly here. Like this. Gonna strap everything back. Like that. And well, basically basically I'm done now. Just gonna tie my dubbing loop down with a couple of turns of the thread here, like so. I'm gonna cut it off like that. Just gonna make sure everything is how I want it to look. And now you can do a lot of different stuff. You can either simply take some UV curing glue or something like that, and then add some eyes on the side of this. Or you can do what I plan to, because this is made on the Futurefly tube, and Futurefly has just launched some very cool cone heads for their flies. So in order to give a nice smooth end to this fly, but also to add a bit of weight, I'm gonna put one of these out in front, and you can still, if you want, add the eyes. I think that most often the eyes are probably most for for the fishermen. It makes the fly look very, very good, but the problem is after the first pike or so they are eaten away anyway. So I'm just gonna add one of these. So without getting too much flash, I'm gonna make my whip finish here. Also, the cone head will provide a lot of help for a lot of protection for the head of the fly. Like that. Oh, what was that I dropped? Oh, it wasn't the super glue. I'm a bit paranoid because yesterday I accidentally forgot to close my super glue, and on top of that, as if that wasn't even enough, I managed to somehow drop the bottle without realizing it, and it simply just pulled out onto my table, and the entire content was lying in a pool. I didn't realize this, so I had a big pool of super glue with a lot of material stuck in it just laying around, and I first realized this when I was about to make this video. So there you have it, a completely black, very lively fly that has the rattles in there. And if you want to top this off really nicely, you can do it with a wriggle tail. Make a wriggle tail onto your hook set to really give it a bit more effect. But a great fly that looks great in the water and fishes very good.